Poverty is prevalent in Indiana. 16% of Hoosiers live below the federal poverty level, but we often don't notice poverty because people with lower incomes are often segregated to certain neighborhoods. And it's happening more often in recent years. U.S. Census Bureau data shows nearly 1 in 4 Hoosiers live in places with high concentrations of poverty. And new research out this week shows 1 in 10 children are in the same situation. That creates unique challenges that include limited access to health care, higher crime rates, and few education opportunities. And as Gretchen Frazee reports, it makes it harder for children to break the cycle of poverty.
Cynthia Nelson considers herself fortunate. She and her 11-year-old daughter Sierra live in Indianapolis in a house that was built through the Fuller Center for Housing, a program similar to Habitat for Humanity. Nelson says most of the people on her street are employed and the crime rate is relatively low, creating a stable environment where her daughter can grow up. And Nelson has a job working at Fletcher Place Community Center's thrift store. But she wasn't always so fortunate.
There was nothing but chaos, turmoil, just didn't have a direction, didn't even have a need or want to do anything, just follow what everybody else was doing.
When Nelson moved to Indianapolis from Detroit more than 20 years ago, she first lived in shelters, then in a not-so-nice area with a high crime rate, because it's all she could afford. Many Hoosiers are in that same situation. Recent data from the U.S. Census Bureau shows the percent of Indiana residents who live in areas of concentrated poverty has more than doubled in the last decade. 9% of Hoosiers lived in concentrated poverty areas in 2000 compared to 23% in 2010. And children are being impacted particularly hard. Only 3% of kids lived in concentrated poverty areas in 2000. Now, that rate has nearly quadrupled to 11%. Indiana Youth Institute President Bill Stanczykiewicz says when large numbers of low-income people live together, there are inherent problems.
There can be difficulty of accessing information in a neighborhood that is economically segregated. Physically, it can be hard if transportation does not exist to the resources or to the places where the jobs are, or if it's not easy to get to the community college to get the education you need to start moving up the economic ladder.
For parents and their children, there's also a lack of basic amenities, such as grocery stores, internet, and playgrounds.
To not be able to get out and play in parks and have that kind of fun. You don't have a soccer club out here, so you don't have that opportunity. And the safety issue too. You're safer if you stay at home than if you go out and play.
Reverend Jessie Langley runs Fletcher Place, overseeing the food pantry, the center's pre-K program, and the thrift store. She says she's seen poverty become more segregated in the 2 decades she's worked here, and it's taken a toll on the people she serves.
As Indianapolis grows, the cultural trail's great, and we're not that far from Fountain Square, which was listed in New York Times as one of the 52 places to see this year, was Fountain Square in Indianapolis. And so as that happens, you have folks that start moving into that neighborhood then that have money, and so landlords sell houses. The folks that used to live in those houses now get moved somewhere else, and usually further away from Center City and further away from services that they really could use.
Nonprofit organizations like Fletcher Place help ease that transition by providing basic needs, food, clothing, and assistance finding jobs. But many parts of the state, especially rural areas, don't have those kinds of services. And Stanczykiewicz says poverty can't be eliminated by just meeting people's physical needs.
Even if we somehow magically solved all of those challenges, there's something that's maybe even stronger and more insidious, and that's the emotional destitution that kids feel. The utter hopelessness that just really sinks into their lives. And not that they had hope and they lost it, but they never had hope in the first place. And without that belief that success is for them, that possibility is for them, that opportunity is for them, that their work will matter, and that there's a reward at the end of the process in terms of economic self-sufficiency, even meeting the physical needs of those children will only go so far.
That's what Nelson says was her game changer.
I just got tired of shelters and realized that I could do much better if I just stayed around people who had backbones instead of wishbones.
So Nelson started interacting with more people at Fletcher Place, where people are encouraged to, as Reverend Jessie Langley says, keep moving forward.
On my walk to work, I'll run into teenagers and adults that will stop, and they know me from Fletcher Place. And the first thing they'll do is they'll let me know, one, they were in my preschool, and two, whether they finished high school or not, and where they're at. I don't ask them those questions. The immediate is, I need to let her know how I'm doing, where I'm going, because that's the expectation here.
Certain things you just can't start on.
That's the attitude Nelson says she's trying to pass on to her daughter. And so far, it seems to be working. Sierra has her eyes set on becoming a veterinarian.
I'm going to try and do good in school and try and get good enough test scores on the ISTEP and different tests so I can get like a 21st Century Scholarship.
The 21st Century Scholarship Sierra mentioned is a need and performance-based scholarship that's funded by community organizations. A few years ago, the Indiana Commission for Higher Education and the Indiana Youth Institute recently started a new program that provides students who receive the scholarship with a mentor in hopes of increasing the college graduate rates of low-income students. And as we mentioned, concentrated poverty isn't just a big city issue. In fact, the 3 counties with the highest concentrated poverty rates are largely rural. Frank Narwicki joins us now to talk more about what counties and small towns can do to reduce poverty in their areas. He's a lecturer at Indiana University School of Public and Environmental Affairs, and he studies city planning and rural development. Thanks for being here, Frank.
Thank you for having me.
So as we saw in the story, maybe you can take us a little bit further. What is causing, what is that cause of poverty, this concentrated poverty in these small towns across Indiana?
In rural Indiana or semi-rural Indiana, we have some issues going back to the 1980s with manufacturing jobs leaving the area. One example, you could look at city of Marion, Indiana. In 1970, they had a population of about 39,000. Today, they're about 30,000, so they're losing population. People are moving where the jobs are.
And so then what's that ripple effect on those towns when this happens then, and the people who live there?
Well, it affects their tax base. And when the people are leaving, it also affects the school system, which has a long effect on the community. Schools actually have a major part in economic development and stability in the area.
Now, for those people who are living in rural areas and need help, are there services available to them?
There are nonprofit organizations that actually do some work. In southern Indiana, out of Mitchell, Indiana, there's Hoosier Uplands. That's a nonprofit, actually works with Head Start and some other social programs. So there are availability of programs out there.
Does it also force them to look outside of their rural area and having to go to bigger cities, but then transportation might be a issue
Transportation
too?
is usually a problem to go somewhere else. They usually relocate.
We talked in the story about where developers can come in and redesign an entire area. How do we make sure that they're not pushing out the low-income people?
That's a very good point. The issue on this is actually gentrification. That issue actually comes into looking at redeveloping an area, making it so expensive that people that originally were living there could not afford to stay. And what that happens is actually forcing people to leave. One of the techniques to try to use that is in the codes for the community, actually looking at having affordable housing requirements. So if a developer comes in, a certain number of units have to be affordable housing.
And now I hear you're taking a group of students to South Bend in northern Indiana. What's that trip for?
We have a capstone. Our seniors are doing a capstone. This is an online course, so this is unique for us. First time we've done the capstone. Going up to South Bend, looking at a trail possibility and also redevelopment downtown. We'll be presenting to the elected officials and also to the public Monday night.
What are you telling the students?
The students, basically, this is wrapping up their 2-year experience with us in the master's program. This is real life experience. I tend to tell the students it's okay to have some problems happen in the project because we want to see how you react with problems.
All right, well, thank you very much. Appreciate your time today.
Okay, thank you.